Thanks, you, Tess. Yeah, hey, man. Thank you. Thanks for coming out. I appreciate it. Thanks for getting the book. I like that. I just flew in from Chicago, so I got a couple of notes on that. We'll bring in Dawson and Bryan. If you, Joe Koy is going to join us as well later. I was a little nervous in Chicago because I had heard there was a shooting at a funeral a few days ago, which did not worry me. The part of the whole story that worried me is when they shot at the people at the funeral returned fire. That's a true story. That's the scary part of that story. Not that they're at a funeral, not that the person they're at the funeral for was shot earlier in the week, but that they returned fire. The last funeral I was at was like for my Nana. I couldn't imagine like my stepdad, John, like reaching for his Glock if somebody drove by. I was traveling through O'Hare Airport this afternoon, and I went to the bathroom before we got on the shuttle bus at the rent-a-car drop-off port, and I took a leak like I always do, and then I walked right out like I always do, but I noticed there was a dude next to me who was at the sink, and that fucking guy was like scrubbing in for a surgery. Like he had suds up to his fucking elbows, and he was just taking the first layer of skin off. And I was like, what's he doing? And then I thought, oh yeah, the whole COVID thing. Like everyone's going nuts with the rubbing and the scrubbing. But I did the math. There's no doors on the bathroom at the airport. You just walk in, touch your own cock, and leave. So, does your dick have COVID? Like what? Well, then maybe you should have washed your fucking hands before you touch your dick. Which is it? I did the dick math. I was like, I know where my cock's been for the last 18 to 24 hours. It's got a little cat fur on it, but it's fine. Doesn't mean I was doing anything weird. The cat could have been sleeping on the bed. We don't know. But I did feel weird not scrubbing in along with this guy. But on the other hand, not only is my dick, like my dick still has that new dick smell. It's like so pristine. And there's really not enough of it for COVID to find a home, you know? It's like it's just not enough surface area. We were too much information. Yeah, I gotcha. Yeah. Or too little information. I mean, it depends what kind of dick math we're doing. I had this thing. All right, so I flew out of LAX a couple days ago. I flew into Chicago, and everyone's kind of wondering, like, what's first class? Oh, by the way, this is the biggest problem Whitey has. Is like, what's first class going to be like now? Like, we gonna get booze? Are we gonna get a box? Like, this is serious now. Now this shit is on. And I'm like, what are we gonna get in first class? And what we're gonna get is we get a box. And I got the like Tapas box on the way out. It's just a box with a little thing of hummus and a little cheese cracker, and it's all fucking Orwellian and Logan's Run, and it's horrible, and we should all just kill ourselves. But I guess the good news is if the plane, like if the fucking engine caught on fire, I'd be like, oh shit, we're gonna die. And then I'd look at this box and go, okay. This hummus tastes like ass. Like I'm 56. This is gonna be a lateral move if we hit the side of that mountain. But this crazed lack of information that everyone has all the time. Like, you know that thing where it's like you go into a car dealership and you go, how much horsepower does the F-150 have? And the guy goes, let me check on that. And then he comes back and then you go, what is the range? What is the mileage on a car with a full tank? Oh, yeah, let me check the brochure. And you're like, it's a $63,000 item. How come you don't know anything about it? I looked at a condo in Malibu a month ago. It was $1.9 million. And I walked in and I said to the guy, what's the square footage? And he's like, check the brochure, dude. And I'm like, you want $2 million and you can't fucking tell me what the square footage is? So we're on the plane. And the woman's handing out boxes, and I got the hummus box, I got the tapas box on the way out, but a few hours ago when we were coming from O'Hare, she's like, I got a couple boxes in my basket now, and she's like, you want the tapas box or you want the original box? And I said, what's in the original box? And she's like, I don't know. And I thought, how many fucking jobs do you have? You have like 2.5 jobs on this fucking flight. And someone else asked what was in the original box. We don't work for the fucking airline. How would you know what was in the original box? I go, United Original? Yeah, I got you. Mini pretzels and Cheese Whiz, sure. The guy before me didn't know what was in the box. She went and got the brochure and handed him the fuck. There's 3 things in the box. She could commit them to memory and then spit them out at me. And then I thought, earlier on the flight in, I asked for a vodka and soda. And then I said, do you have lemon or lime? And the chick went, yeah, I don't know. And I thought, the galley is big as a mop closet. You couldn't do a little fucking inventory when you hopped on the plane, sweet cheeks? Just fucking look. Just look. Do we have lemons? Do we have limes? I will have an answer for you. Not like, I don't know. And then I thought, Jesus Christ, you think the pilots work this way? We going to Love Field or we going to Dallas Fort Worth? And yeah, I don't know. What's our cruising altitude gonna be? I don't know, did you check the brochure? There's something in the seat, right? Where's our landing gear, up or down? Jeez, I don't know, you gotta read the box. Yeah, I still don't know. The guy next to me got the original box and I kept peeking over my shoulder trying to figure out what the fuck he was eating. Oh, I passed a man of color in the airport in Chicago, and he's wearing a T-shirt, and the T-shirt said, you love our culture, why don't you love us? And I thought, yeah. But then I also thought, you know, it could be worse. Like, you could be Armenian. Well, I mean, we don't like you or the culture, right? I'm saying, but at least if you're black, at least you're 1 out of 2, right? I mean, that's a lot better than the Armenians are doing. All right, okay. He's wearing a T-shirt. What do you want? It fucking made me think. I didn't say it to him, you know. I just thought it when I was walking past him, you know. That's I like kind of joke Tourette's that way. That's all. All right, should we bring up, who do we got? We got Bryan waiting in the wings. We got Dawson waiting in the wings. And Gina Grad is not around. Well, she's actually working tonight on her terrestrial radio station. So we'll see. Now, they're blown out a little. There we go. Dawson, Bryan.
What's happening, Texas?
Yeah, man.
What's up, everybody?
There we go. Well, now we see you. We don't see me. Well, we're going to trade this one off. But so I made a note here, and I had an interesting thought. I wanted to share it with Dawson and Bryan and the audience, which is I had this concept when I was walking around Chicago today, and I was thinking to myself, oh, we got a voucher for the room, and it was, $100, and does that cover parking and how expensive the valet is and the valet parking is in Chicago and blah, blah, blah. And then I had this sad thought, which is, I don't think my dad has ever paid for parking. My dad is going to turn 89 in a month, and he's going to die, and he will have never paid for parking. And you go, shrewd move, Jim Carolla, but wait a minute, that means you never left the fucking house. It means you never went on vacation. It means you never rented a car. It means you've never been to Maui. It means you never went downtown to see a play. It means you never went to a killer steakhouse. It just means you didn't do anything. And then I thought, and I was thinking of you, Bryan, because I want to pose this theory, because I'm always looking for measurements, like ways to measure your life. Like, did you have a full life? The amount of expenditure, the amount of cash you put out for parking in your life, the most means you've lived a super full life. That means a lot of valets at a lot of cool restaurants. It means a lot of travel, right? A lot of hotel valets. I'm not talking about parking meters, and I'm not talking about, paying $30 a month to whatever for your job and the parking, whatever that is. I just mean the amount you're out of pocket for parking in your life. Is this a good way to measure a full and rich life? Bald Bryan.
Yes, it's a great metric. The only trick comes when someone has a chronic disease and they're always at the hospital paying those hospital parking fees. Do you think your dad even knows that you have to pay for parking at most places?
No, I don't know that he even knows. He would be confused if you said the phrase most places to him. He would be like, what do you mean? There's only one place. It's my sofa. It's where my ass has found a home. Yeah, it's sad, but the man, but I realize look, first things first, if you go out to eat at a Sizzler or a Golden Corral, you don't have to pay for parking. You go to a nice steakhouse, you have to pay for parking. You go on vacation, you have to pay for parking. Dawson, what do you think?
Well, hold on. Let me say, also in L.A., you got to pay a hefty premium for beach parking. So ideally, that means you go to the beach a lot.
Yeah, no way. No way. Dawson, thoughts?
Yeah, I think on this one, you're definitely on the right track, because living in Los Angeles, you automatically learn, usually the hard way, that if you can find parking that seems free in downtown L.A., you just didn't read the sign right.
You're
So your car is going to be towed.
I know.
And then you realize, usually too late, that if you just pay that $20 to have your car safe in a lot, you don't have to worry about it, and you do have a better time.
That is a couple things. First off, everyone who runs those lots are Nazis, and they know it. They know they got you by the short ones. And couple things. If you guys ever go to Los Angeles, you go to the West Side, they have parking poles and they decorate them like Christmas trees, but with rules, right? It's just like sign after sign after sign after sign. And like, I wasn't a good student, and I'm kind of dyslexic, and when I read, I got to use my finger. So it's like, I got to travel with a stepladder and like literally go, wait a minute, no parking between, I get fucked up on the AM, 12 a.m.? Wait a minute, is that noon? Wait a minute, it's 6 p.m., hold on. But on Thursdays and Yom Kippur, we don't have to. And it's like you just sit there and you stare at it, and you stare at it and stare at it, and eventually you go, oh, fuck it, and then you leave, and then you come back and there's a ticket on it. As a matter of fact, if I was running Los Angeles, I'd just put 13 signs on every one of those poles and just hand a ticket out to every single car that ever parked there, because there's no way you could prove in court that those rules weren't up there. You just get totally confused. And yes, the parking Nazis. One time, I was seeing a show in Hollywood, and I pulled into a parking lot, and I was driving a Z car, a Datsun 350 Z car, kind of low slung, and I was sitting on my wallet, and I pulled in to the valet guy, and it was a parking lot. He wasn't going to valet, he was just going to tell you where to park. And he said, $15, except for with a horrible accent. But I don't want to do that accent because, as you know, I don't hear color. I do see it, like the dude at the airport, but I don't hear it. So the guy's like, $15, and I'm like, yeah, I'm sitting on my wallet. Let me just park and get out of my car. I'll give you the 15. He's like, 15 now. And I was like, you don't trust me? He's like, no. I was like, let me just pull in, and I'll get out of the car, and then I'll pay you. And then he's like, I need the 15 now. I'm like, how do you think this is going to work? I'm going to pull in, jump out of the car without paying you, and run to Mexico laughing? He's like, pay it now. I'm like, F you. I pulled out, went across the street, and literally parked across the street. I ran over a nun and a retarded kid on the way there. But it was still worth it.
I think we should probably add that into our friends' eulogies that we end up giving them when they die, that in his lifetime, he paid over $75,000 to park his car.
That man
It's a
lived.
life well lived.
Yeah, but I wonder if losers like my dad wouldn't just pull up to the local lot that wanted $8 a day and give the guy $60,000 tip just to try to get right with Jesus before he kicked off. All right, so I'm gonna just go ahead and go with I'm gonna go with two things on a life well led. Two of them. One is how much did you pay for parking over the course of your lifetime? And my other metrics I use to measure success is your name and how far it is away from you or how close it is to your body. Which is this? And here's what it is. If you have a name tag on you, that means you work at McDonald's and you're a fucking loser. So if your name is physically touching you, that's bad.
Adam, did you check this bit to see if the servers here are wearing
Oh,
name tags?
no. Sorry, servers. But if the name is on your desk, then you're sitting 3 feet away from your name, then you're doing better than if it's on you. And if your name is then on the door of your office instead of on your desk, then it's even further off of your body and you're doing better. But if it's outside and it's on a parking space and it's really far away from your office, then you're doing even better than if it's on your door. And if it's on the roof of the building, you are crushing it. And if that building's in Hong Kong and you're being blown in Vegas, you have arrived, my friend.
You're a whale.
Powerful words. All right, sorry, what you guys think of that? Max and Patty, you got a clock here? How's this? There's one that's not moving on the other side of the
That's
room.
the time.
Oh, that's the time?
Yeah.
Oh, that's the time. Oh, it started off doing a weird countdown thing and then it moved.
Yeah, I know you're more used to the time, so I haven't changed it to the time.
Okay. All right.
My favorite part of the intro, which I was listening to, of course, was when your example of how we're living through Orwell's dystopia in 1984 was you were being served hummus in first class.
Yes. Hummus. Peasant food. Peasant food in first class. I wasn't even
brave
given
new
proper
world.
silverware. I had a stick. They gave me a flat stick to dig it out. Yes. Very, very pedestrian. It was very sad. And no citrus on the plane whatsoever, by the way. There is no. And
What if someone gets scurvy?
yeah, that's a good point. It's a pretty long journey. Some of those sailors could get scurvy. I did make my way into the United Bar. You'll be the club. I made my way into the United Club, and I was actually hustling there, and I was meeting a friend. Matt DeAndrea was there, and my flight was going to leave in like half an hour, and I was going to get there. And he's at the club, and he goes, "I'm at the bar. You want me to order something?" And I said, "Yeah, just give me a vodka soda and lemon." And he said, "Okay, vodka soda and lemon." Hung up the phone, came up into the club. 10 minutes later, in the United Lounge, I guess it is, sitting there. I got a vodka, soda, and lime. And I said to Matt, "Hey, Matt, didn't you order the vodka, soda, and lemon?" And he said, "Yep." And he said, "That's what the guy did. He had a pile of lemons and a pile of limes, and I said vodka, soda, lemon, and he just grabbed a lime and dropped it in. This never stops happening to me. What the fuck is going on? I know they start with the same letter, but why can't you just reach for the fucking lemon? I've had it happen a million times where I go vodka, soda, lemon. They go vodka, soda, lime. I go lemon. They go, want that lime? I go lemon. They go, okay. And then they put a fucking lime in it. What is going on? I know we've talked about this. It's not answerable. Are they trying to get me to kill myself?
Well, you're right. We really are living through Orwell's 1984.
Yes, this is it.
Seriously.
First the hummus, and now this. Any thoughts?
Oh, sorry. No, it's just people out of it. It's the same reason that people are, drifting out of the lanes on their cell phone, and all the reasons that people are more and more out of it. No one's paying attention to lemon versus lime.
Should we start saying, or should I start saying, I would like vodka, soda, and the yellow lemon?
You could do that. You know what you could
I
do,
don't
which
think
would
it
be
would matter.
gaming the system a little bit, but you would have to say, let me get vodka, soda, lemon, please not lime. I'm allergic to lime. Now, this goes against everything Adam Carolla stands for, but trust me, you will not get lime because no one wants to get sued.
Yeah, but see, here's the problem. We're living in a society where no mayo means extra mayo, right? Like, because you uttered the word mayo. I'm scared to say lime. That may get me an entire tree shoved up my ass.
People do not have the attention span. They will hear the order. They'll believe they know it in their mind. Yes, I got this. Don't have to write it down. And then they're going to go back and do what they normally do, is throw lime in every single drink.
I'm sorry, I tuned out. What were you saying, Dawson? Just kind of thinking about hummus there.
Yeah.
That should be my weekly column in the New Yorker. Thinking about hummus with Adam Carolla. Today's thoughts, first class. All right, Joe Koy's gonna come up when Joe Koy comes up, right? Should be any moment now.
Any minute, yeah. I just
he
got
gonna-
word. He's heading to his computer right now, so it should be another 4 minutes.
All right, I'm gonna sing the dreidel song.
All right.
Now I know
Hey,
we're in Dallas, so this is dreidel song country. Yes, Brian.
sing it if you know it. I was thinking about, as long as you got a couple of minutes, I was thinking about a commercial that I think ESPN ran a lot last year during college football season. And this is where Texas and California are going to find some common ground. Because it was a ridiculous commercial where they were like going around the country and like talking to tailgaters. Of course, they're actors or whatever, but and like the Memphis guy had ribs and it was all local stuff.
Right.
And when they got to USC, the guy was like, what's your hummus food? He's like, oh no, what's your tailgate food? He's like, hummus.
Oh.
And then they cut to the Texas guy, the UT Austin guy, and he's like a little boy with a handlebar mustache. He's like, what? And it's like, listen, not all us LA homos bring hummus to tailgates, number one. But number two, Texas should be insulted because Austin is the birthplace of Whole Foods. Nowhere has seen more hummus than Austin, Texas.
Wow, that's impassioned hummus speech there.
What? Fucking redneck doesn't know idea what hummus is? Who doesn't know what hummus is? My grandpa knows what hummus is.
Does everyone here know what hummus is? I hope so. I've done 20 minutes on the... It'd be a horrible show for you to have any clarity on hummus.
I'm 100% aware that hummus exists, but I could not tell you one ingredient in it.
Nobody knows. It's a weird. I'll tell you the one thing. Here's the one thing about hummus. Like chips and salsa is awesome, but it's hard to eat, especially the chunky pico de gallo stuff when you're drunk, because you put this thing in there and you get the little pyramid of tomatoes and onion. You're like, oh, and then it falls onto your shirt. Hummus. You stick a chip in hummus, put it in a paint can shaker at Home Depot, and when you pull it out, the fucking hummus is still on it.
Yeah.
Like you could put a Ritz in hummus and throw it like a throwing star across the room, and it would come back with the same amount of hummus on it. They gave us hummus and pretzel sticks, these weird long sticks. I put the stick in the end. I pulled out, looked like a drumstick worth of hummus. I conducted an orchestra with it, and then I ate it. None of it fell off. Guacamole's good, but again, when you do the salsa, man, it's a delicate dance.
Indeed.
And you got to keep it on there, and you got to cradle it, and you got to scoop it, and you got to lean forward, and you got to throw it in your mouth. Hummus, you put that thing on a chip, you put that thing on a cracker, you put that thing anywhere, you could drop kick it across a parking lot and would have just as much hummus and some pubes on it when you gathered it up. So I will say, it tastes like shit, but it's good for dipping. That much I know. And I don't know what else we're supposed to do with this shit. I think it's just like chickpeas or garbanzo beans. And by the way, is a chickpea and a garbanzo bean the same thing? And if it is, why do we have the shortest, fastest, most streamlined name and the longest, most complicated name for the same thing? Chickpea, man, one syllable. Garbanzo? That's a lot.
I don't know how
These things
on
have
earth,
never been discussed on this stage. I'm just saying, you had me at chickpea. We don't need garbanzo. Sorry.
You're doing Cat Williams material again?
Yeah. This is Cat Williams' act. He doesn't do his whole act on the difference between chickpeas and garbanzo beans, but it's a good portion of it.
Hey, Adam, I have Joe Koy on the line.
Joe
here.
Koy's on the blower. Joe Koy. Oh, damn. Oh, Max and Pat, I left Joe Koy's plugs. I left all the plugs in my dressing room. I think they're on a couple of cards. Joe Koy, you with? Hey, Joe. Wait, let's see. Let's heat him up. Unmute yourself. You got the, there you are. Joe?
What's up?
Hey, man. Joe Koy, everybody. I got your plugs coming. Max Pat is going to go get them. Where are you at? Are you at home in L.A.?
Vegas. Home in Vegas.
Oh, home in Vegas.
Oh.
Yeah.
Are you in Vegas 51% of the time for taxes?
Yeah. I go back and forth.
People go to Vegas for taxes and exes.
Yeah.
Those are the two things. No, you go to Vegas for taxes. You go to Florida for exes. I think that's how it works. But are you?
I had the restaurant here, and then maybe you should tell everybody you flew a private jet here.
That's right.
And ate all of the meat at my restaurant for free.
It's called.
And kept ordering. I have Kobe, and then I also have Wagyu, which is like $115 a plate. And fucking Adam orders 9 plates.
Joe
and eats it like a sloppy drunk, Dawson. Just drunk and this is delicious, Koy. I'm so proud of you.
We were speaking.
Shit.
We were speaking earlier about how Adam's life is just turning Orwellian, and that
it's awful.
This what happened, Joe? This was a perfect.
Oh wait, Adam, hold on! I got to interrupt you because I want your crowd to know just how sloppy of a drunk you were. Flies in on a private jet. I bring him in on a huge SUV, right? And then he comes in with fucking luggage and puts it behind the cook, like right behind the cook. All his luggage.
This was a perfect storm of sloppy, drunken eating, which is, I flew that morning from LA to do an event in Detroit. I took a private jet and I left in the morning, flew to Detroit, did an event in Detroit, then got back on a private plane and flew to Vegas, where Joe welcomed me into his wonderful restaurant, Shabu Shabu.
Yeah, Shabu Shabu.
So I had
Shabu Shabu. Are you still drunk?
I was so drunk. What's it called? Is it called Shabu Shabu?
Yeah, it's called Shabu Shabu. But the way you said, you sound like a white guy doing a bad Japanese accent. Shabu Shabu.
I had been drinking on the private plane the entire day. So by the time we landed in Vegas at 8 o'clock at night, I was shabu faced.
Yeah.
And I rolled in there, and I hadn't eaten anything the entire day because I left at like 8 in the morning, and Joe just kept bringing out the beef, man. And I was
kept
drunk.
ordering the beef.
Yes, I was like, where?
So drunk. He doesn't even know where the camera is. It's right in front of him. What a fucking asshole. What are you looking at? What are you looking at? You're to the right. I don't even know what the fuck you're looking at.
I have no idea. I thought I was at a Panda Express.
Yeah, there's a pink panda.
Adam, look at that white couple right behind us to the right. They're even shocked. The one chick is laughing. Look at her.
I know.
You know what she's saying? What a drunk.
I know. I was drunk. Well, look, if you're going to fly privately, you got to drink. Those are the fucking rules. So, so I was shit-faced. I was in Vegas. I went to Shabu Shabu. I ate $7,000 worth of beef and then staggered back to the SUV.
He did. The whole point of having celebrities come to eat at your restaurant is to help promote and hopefully increase profit. Completely put me in the negative for a month and a half.
It was goddamn
Worst
good.
fucking mistake I ever made.
My recollection.
Hold on, Adam, I'm going to interrupt you again. I know this is your show, but I really fucking hated that you came to my restaurant. So I want everyone to know. He also, every time you order Wagyu, Bryan, every time you order Wagyu, it's a special thing because that means the customer just spent like $150. So we bring over a little gong and you hit it. Like, and everyone's like, hey, and they clap because it's a very, not too many people order it.
Yeah, you make a thing out of it.
It's a thing. It's like maybe twice a month someone gongs it. This asshole gonged it 9 times in less than a minute.
I was working it like John Bonham was working the bass pedal. Well, they tell me I had an excellent time, Joe. So
there's another picture with the local newspaper too. You remember the news reporter that was there? Holy shit!
I have no recollection of that person.
That was a bad write-up.
Yeah. So Joe, you're in Vegas. Well, Vegas is kind of open, right? Or is it fully open?
It's once again, it's kind of like they stopped the bars, but it's Vegas. No one's paying attention. No one gives a shit.
The whole town is a bar.
Yeah,
Right.
the whole town's a bar. They don't give a shit.
Yeah. So, and then you, obviously you're not touring. You can't tour. Are you doing any shows? Are you getting up on stage?
Adam, this is Vegas. You'll see prostitutes wearing a mask and pull it down going, blowjob? No? Okay.
They just put a hole in the mask. Save themselves the effort.
You did one of those N95 masks. Just
Yeah.
Blowjob?
So any shows,
They need
Joe?
to create an N69 mask.
Yeah, Dawson.
Fucking Dawson.
Joe, are you traveling? Are you doing anything? Are you just in? What's going on?
Just in, not doing anything. They canceled my last show. I had one scheduled for August 22nd at Lincoln, California, and Governor Newsom took that away from me.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, he's.
We had it COVID ready, man. We had it COVID ready.
Yeah, I did Joe's show. I didn't do it. I opened.
It's
I did
Joe.
10
It's
minutes.
fucking Joe, asshole. It's fucking Joe.
Joe Koy. I did his show at the Fabulous Forum, I don't know, 6 months ago.
No, fuck you, Adam. Here's what's crazy, you guys. He says joy, and then he goes, Joe, and then he just keeps rambling on like what he just did is okay.
Joe Koy.
No, it's fucking Joe. It's 20 years I've known you.
I know, you're right. Joe's been selling out arenas all over well, now the world, right? I mean,
was gonna say.
not just... Yes.
Joe, I
mean-
know you're used to playing sports arenas, small islands, things of that nature. What you're looking at is a comedy club. This is where, admittedly, smaller groups of people gather to enjoy the art of comedy.
Oh, Bryan, that's not good for job security at all.
It's a joke. No, it's about how big you are. Come on.
Joe has played 10,000 shows at 10,000 comedy clubs throughout his career. And I'll tell you, if you don't get to see Joe on tour, you can see the show on Netflix. Joe Koy, in his elements, and this is Joe's latest special, which is on Netflix, and as good as anything Joe Koy's ever done, and that is saying something. No. That is not backhanded. Joe's stand-up
Always
specials
backhanded.
are goddamn excellent. People tell me they are above average. No, Joe's stand-up. No, his stand-up specials are fucking excellent, and this one is as well. So you can watch that on Netflix. All right.
Tell him, Adam.
I'm telling them.
No, tell him about the forum, you shit.
Joe's salty.
He's in the Philippines. Joe is.
No! Tell him about the forum in Los Angeles.
Oh, the forum. Sorry. All right.
Jesus Christ.
All right. The forum.
You're a real piece of shit, Adam. You really are.
The fabulous
How
forum.
dare you?
The Lakers played the Forum. The Kings used to play at the Forum. All the biggest bands in the world, Aerosmith and Led Zeppelin, they all played the Forum. And 6 months ago, Joe Koy played the Forum.
2 shows.
2 shows, sold out.
But tell him what you did.
I went out and did 9 minutes of mediocre comedy, and then Tiffany Haddish came on. By the way,
you killed it, Adam. You were great. You were really great. I loved it. You were amazing.
Thank you. You've arrived when I did 10 minutes of stand-up. There's 13,000 people there. And at some point, I went back.
14.5.
14.5. I went, including staff, there was 15.10. No. So
15.10, yes.
I went backstage, then I met up with Joe's manager / agent. We got into an elevator. We went upstairs to the bar. We went in the bar. We ordered a beer at the Forum Bar, and we watched the rest of the set on a TV monitor that was pumped into the bar. That means you've arrived, Joe Koy. All right, should we do some news? Dawson, you want to? Dawson's going to handle the news tonight because Gina Grad is not around. Max Pata, the time. What happened to our time thing? It's over there? Oh, there it is. All right, just checking. Go ahead, Dawson. What do you got?
Reporting live from Dudesseldorf, it's the news with Mike Dawson.
Well, former undisputed heavyweight champion Mike Tyson is making a comeback. Tyson, age 54, is going to fight Roy Jones Jr. in the 8-round exhibition fight September 12th in Carson, California. The bout will be broadcast pay-per-view, as well as on a multimedia platform called Triller.
Roy Jones
Tyson,
Roy Jones Jr. is one of the most athletic, best fighters ever. He was a light heavyweight. He isn't really a heavyweight, but he retired in the United States. But he's been doing fights like overseas, like he's go fighting a kangaroo for the Sultan of Brunei for like 80 grand a pop. Like, so he's been fighting this whole time. We just haven't known about it. There's plenty of shit you can do you can retire in the United States if you're a boxer or a porn star, but you can keep going in other countries.
Who bought him for 80 grand? Adam?
He's the Sultan of Brunei. I don't know. Shabu Shabu. That was his. He would clap his hands.
that was what, yeah.
They pay him in shabu. They pay him in shabu shabu.
Adam,
Roy did fight for the heavyweight title though before he retired.
Yes, he moved up. He moved up to heavyweight, but he's really not a heavyweight.
No,
and,
not at all.
And Tyson looks super sharp. I mean, did you see any of that footage of him like just hitting the focus pads and stuff? So I don't know how that's going to work for Roy. But oh, you know what's a funny thing? I interviewed Mike Tyson a few years ago for this podcast, and I went to his house. He's in Vegas, by the way. He's in like Henderson or somewhere. So he may be a neighbor.
Yes.
And I went to his house, and the last time I saw him, he was moving slow. He was shuffling his feet. He looked depressed. He was kind of overweight. And this time I saw him, he looked bright-eyed and bushy-tailed, and he looked sharp. And I said, Mike, what have you been doing? What's the difference? What's going on? And he said, I cut it all out, Adam. I cut all of it out. I cut out the booze, I cut out the cocaine, I cut out the pills, I cut out everything. I'm not doing anything anymore. I cut it all out. And I said, not even weed? And he went, whoa, slow down.
Well, regarding the safety of the event, Tyson says that we're both accomplished fighters. We know how to take care of ourselves. It's an 8-round exhibition. And listen, we'll be all right. Trust me, we can take care of ourselves. It's also been reported that former NBA player Nate Robinson and YouTube star Jake Paul have agreed to fight on the undercard that night.
What?
Yeah.
Nate Robinson.
You could have trained him too, Ace.
Yeah.
You had a discussion with him. I guess he never called.
Yeah.
Wait, a discussion with who? Jake or
Jake Paul.
Nate?
Jake Paul came in. And I told him I'd train him and hold the focus pads for him. But we're in some odd entertainment times here, right? Where this is just full dog and pony show. Like celebrities, everyone's got a bootleg porn tape on the internet. Celebrities are just going at it in Carson, California. I wonder how much money. You know, they say exhibition, but they're doing this to get paid, right?
Oh yeah, it'll be a big event.
So, and
For
then,
sure will be
what
a
do you think?
paycheck.
What is the price for the pay-per-view on this event? Is this $19.99? Is this $29.99? Like, what is this? Because like a legitimate UFC title fight, you know, with a good undercard is $59-$69, right? What is this one?
I was going to guess 50 because these are more notable names to the general public than even the best UFC fighters.
Yeah.
Nate
All the
Robinson?
news stories are saying.
No, I'm talking
the
about Tyson
stories.
and Roy Jones.
Oh, yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
All the stories are just saying that it will cost a fee. No one is saying how much it will cost.
Roy
But it's Tyson's
Jones-
big comeback. They can go as high as $50, don't you think?
Oh,
yeah. Roy Jones
I'd pay to
is
see
such
it.
a badass that
Yeah, he is.
when Roy Jones was in his prime, before a light heavyweight, I think it may have been a title fight, he played in an amateur basketball game. He actually played a game of hoops the afternoon of the fight that was that night and still beat the guy's ass.
Yeah, for a semi-pro team, I think that he owned or something like that in Florida.
Yeah, it's easier to get playing time when you own the team.
Yeah.
He also
And here's another one, Adam. Roy Jones one time had a rap album, and he walked out to his own music, rapping, holding the microphone. He was actually
That's good.
rapping, and he walked in and then fought.
He also breeds fighting cocks. He does cock fighting.
Yep. He does cock fighting.
as well. So, although I don't know why we should be surprised that a guy who fights human beings for a living likes to watch chickens fight on his downtime, right?
Mike Tyson loves raising pigeons, so I guess they both have that thing.
There's your undercard.
There's your other card.
One of
Pigeons
Mike's,
versus the cocks.
one of Mike's pigeons against Roy's cock.
Well, Texas's first drive-through strip club has a 2-song limit. In case you want to go, Vivid Gentlemen's Club in Houston has set up a drive-through service to offer its traditional form of entertainment along with its bar menu. The venue installed a massive white tent outside. There are steel barriers separating drivers and dancers, neon lights, and a PA system, so I imagine the strip club DJ is working as well. Some of the performers wear masks, some don't, but they're all socially distanced from the cars. Drivers leave tips on the pavement. Now, according to Texas law, restaurants can open at half capacity and bars can make to-go sales only. The strip club identifies as a bar, so they're to-go orders. So people drive in, place your order, you sit in the car, the girls dance for 2 songs, you throw some money at them, and then they kick you out to wait for your food. The money doesn't make much.
I'm wondering how many, like, you think guys are driving there, or do you think this is an impulse buy? Like I'll do it with In-N-Out Burger. I'm just driving, I go, oh shit. Like I could just be driving and yell to my son, get in the back seat. Just go ahead and put the sweater over your head for a few minutes. This is an impulse buy. And then also, if the club is outside the bathroom, do you think that's a porta potty? And if it is, do you think they have the attendant in there with the mints and the Lavoris? That's what I would do. I'd get a porta potty and I'd have one Nicaraguan guy like standing there with mints and a towel. You know what I mean? You want a little shot Aquavelva?
Hey, Chris, they should have some kind of champagne pop-up tent room.
That's right.
As well.
Yeah.
How many husbands are coming home late with just one sock on?
Here's a serious question. Can you be infected by the glitter at this distance? Are you going to come home with glitter on you? Maybe this is the perfect time. Hey, honey, I'm going to go pick up dinner.
Mm-hmm.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah. In-N-Out has glitter burgers, motherfucker.
Chris, put that picture back up real quick. Adam, what is up with those crazy rims?
I was looking at both of them.
It's fucking Mad Max shit.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's 007 shit. It's like
Jesus Christ.
This is I have $4,000 worth of Honda Civic and $13,000 worth of rims.
Hey, I'm not going to touch your vagina, but my rims will.
Yeah. I don't know. The rims on this car look like the mouth from Alien, where
the face hugger.
Yeah, the face hugger. Yeah, I don't know what this is. And the car in front of it has it too, and the trunk's open. So I'm not sure how that works.
What are these Autobots? Is that Optimus Prime's penis? What is that?
Yeah. All right. Not every idea is a good idea. I was thinking of this literally the other night in my neighborhood. Well, not that close, but a few miles away, like in Glendale. There's a couple of these vans that say Topless Maids.
Oh yeah.
What is that? Like, you know, when you go, what is really going on? It can't be you hire a maid and she shows up and takes her shirt off and then busts out the Windex and starts going at the windows, right? Like, there's what is a topless maid? What is the...
How's that even sexy?
Well, first off, right? Okay. Now, first off, I have maids. These chicks are somewhere between a 2.5 and a 3. That you would not. I actually give them a sweat jacket to put on when they come inside.
Yeah. How bad are your tits when the guy that's renting it goes, "Hey, I think you need a broom as well."
Right. All right. So what is this? What is the
huge.
scam? How does it work? Does anyone
I was listening
know?
to a podcast from someone describing they actually hired the topless maids, and as you can imagine, you don't get a lot for your money. Yes, of course they're topless. You're not allowed to touch them, of course. You're not allowed to talk to them. I don't think they will only do light housework like dusting and polishing the table or whatever. Like
What the fuck is that?
Out of there and it's like 45 minutes. Like they're there, they dust a little bit, and then they're
No. You're doing my fucking laundry and you're making me something to eat.
That's right.
Yeah, and don't forget the toilet.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Get down there.
And
the
down
toilet?
there.
Yeah, and I'll be doing some polishing, but it won't be the curtain rod. Oh, I made a mess here on the hardwood floor, sweetie.
Oh, Jesus, Adam.
Get out the Swifter.
Oh, my God.
Sorry, shabu shabu. That's what I yell when I'm polishing my joint with the topless maid. Yeah. Clean up, aisle me. Sorry, go ahead, Dawson.
Well, go sports. The NFL Washington franchise, formerly known as the Washington Redskins, is officially going to change their name to the Washington Football Team. Effective
they're
immediately,
not.
they'll use the name Football Team.
Are
for
you
this season,
fucking kidding me?
while they try to figure out their new name and how to brand it. The team hopes to finish retiring the Redskins branding by their home opener against the Eagles on September 13th. Now, a man named Philip Martin McCauley has registered a bunch of trademarks for the potential use by the Washington football team. He told them he'd give them to him free of charge. I want to get your take on some of these. None of these, to me, sound very inspiring, but this guy spent some money and trademarked the Washington Red Wolves.
Red what?
The Washington Wolves.
Wolves. All right. Well, first off, calling something a football team, it sounds like when Oliver Stone would do a football movie, but he couldn't clear the names of the teams in the NFL, so he just called like the Memphis Hustlers. He'd make up a bunch of teams. Yeah, you'd say Washington football team because you didn't buy the rights to say Redskins. So it's way too generic. So you got Red Wolves, right?
Red Tails.
Red Tails.
The Washington Monuments.
Oh, no, that's not going to work.
The fuck is that?
The Washington, they just stand, they don't move. The Washington Americans.
The what?
And the Washington Americans. And the Washington Veterans.
Oh, no. I can't believe this, but I like just football team better than all this stuff.
There is no word on if the football team are interested.
Can't we just call it the Washington those guys and just fucking move on with our lives? Yes. And then what happens to the announcer? Like, what's Joe Buck going to do? He's just going to have to go the Washington football teams or the proud heritage of the Washington football team. And I know Dallas and the former Redskins were quite a rival. By the way, in terms of like contrasting uniforms, those are good contrasting uniforms. The Redskins and the Dallas Cowboys. Like, that's a good contrast. I always think about that. Sorry, go ahead, Dawson. Just kissing a little hometown ass. Nothing matter.
Police are on the hunt for a thief who stole a 50-pound dildo from a Las Vegas sex boutique. Surveillance video, which I'll show you here, shows.
I was going to say, I hope it was a sex boutique because that would be the worst seafood restaurant ever. Like I've seen the king crab up on the wall, but sorry, we'll watch the video.
And we got the masked man here strolling into the Deja Vu Love Boutique in broad daylight.
Yeah,
and he heads straight for a 3-foot. 50-pound dildo. He picks it up, slings it over his shoulder, and then saunters nonchalantly out the door. The suspect fled in his Dodge Caliber.
Oh, of course it's a Dodge Caliber. That's the only getaway car.
The getaway car is important to the story.
Always.
Just for that reason. This guy drives a Dodge Caliber.
I would like to be in charge of the police force that was going to bust this case wide open. I was like, we have no information on this gentleman, but I'm telling you, if we find the woman with the world's biggest pussy, she will lead us straight to this criminal. So get out there, boys, and be safe.
The dildo is the world's largest retail dildo. It's called the Moby. And it'll run you about $600.
Oh, that's nice. That's kind of a good deal. It's a lot of dick for $600.
I was kind of hoping some good Samaritan tried to wrestle it away from him in the parking lot, and he fought him off with the dildo, and this guy's using a hula hoop for a cock ring, and I got all sorts of things going through my head.
We got a Clockwork Orange situation.
Yes. I think I'm going to blame this on COVID because I think the mask has really emboldened dildo thieves in the last. It's not been talked about enough, but I think this mask has really given them a license to steal not only dildos but vibrators and butt plugs.
You know what I don't understand, Adam? Is like places like Home Depot, Best Buy, Target, they got like strict restrictions when you try to get in. They push you back. At Best Buy, they do your thermometer, they read you, they make sure you're 6 feet apart. Deja Vu just lets anybody in. If anyone's spreading COVID, it's these fucking people.
It's a good.
I'm looking for a 600-pound cock. By the way, I don't have COVID.
Yeah.
Good.
Yeah, that's high risk. That's high risk. I agree.
High risk, completely.
Well, the Washington Post has settled their $250 million lawsuit with Covington teen Nick Sandman.
Oh, good.
The lawsuit was settled on his birthday. They're the second domino to fall. Sandman declared the victory in a tweet on his 18th birthday. It is unclear how much the newspaper has settled for. It's the teen's second win in a whopping $800 million defamation battle against a number of news outlets, including the Washington Post, CNN, ABC, CBS, The Guardian, The Hill, and NBC. Sandman, of course, was on the news after a abortion rally at the Capitol, and you know the story. But here's the interesting thing. Sandman tweeted this. He said, "We have settled with WAPO and CNN. The fight isn't over. 2 down, 6 to go. Don't hold your breath at Jack." Maybe saying that he's going to sue Twitter as well. We'll see. I don't know.
That little guy. Imagine that. So I think his high school went on a field trip, and that's where this whole thing broke out because he was with the rest of his high school mates. This guy goes on a field trip, comes home, and now he's going to be $50 million richer.
More than that, I would imagine.
My field trip, when I went on a field trip, I went to fucking Alvera Street. My high school went to Alvera Street, which is essentially a street in Los Angeles that's filled with Mexicans, which is really any street in Los Angeles. I probably had more Mexican kids on the fucking bus ride on the way over to Alvera Street than I did when I got to Alvera Street. I got nothing out of that. The other trip I went on was I went to the Laurie's seasoning plant, and I got out of there with a packet of taco seasoning. Now, you want to talk about a chasm in paydays on field trips. Nicholas Sandman, $75 million. Adam Carolla, packet of taco seasoning. That's a pretty big spread in terms of field trips, people. Now, if I had any hopes for my son, I would hope that he was on the $75 million payday bus versus the taco seasoning packet bus with me. Sorry, Dawson. Go ahead.
That's all right. A northern Michigan restaurant lost thousands of dollars in sales after a busboy claimed he had COVID-19, but the employee just wanted a day off.
We did this one, right? Didn't we do this one, Brian? Didn't Gina do this one?
I think Gina did this story, yeah.
Sloppy seconds,
Gina's the one who
Dawson.
sent it to me.
Shabu shabu.
Let's shabu. Let's move on.
I lost thousands of dollars to Adam's fucking mouth.
That's right. Joe wished I would have called in a bomb threat and saved him some fucking money, but I showed up.
Like, Jesus
liquored
Christ,
up,
Adam,
ready.
don't you have COVID?
Well, speaking of COVID, in South Africa, there was a truck loaded with several 40-liter containers full of live COVID-19 samples. Guess what happened? It was hijacked by armed men outside a clinic. The vehicle was abandoned not far from the scene and has since been recovered, but the virus samples are still missing. Police have warned the
Oh,
public
this is the
remain
beginning
well
of a Vin
clear of the
Diesel
containers.
movie, right?
Is Matt Damon in this headline?
Yeah. That's the part where they come up to Vin's cabin. He's like, you know I'm retired. We need you back for one more. Hold on, let me look at my dog. Okay, one more mission. But they're gonna frame him. That's how it works every time. But don't worry, he's coming after them. Sorry, Dawson. Anyone ever
That's all right,
asked you to do one more thing? If they are after you, I don't care. It always goes south. If they ask you to come out of retirement for one more job, don't do it. I don't care.
fucking do it.
I don't care if you're a fucking pool man. If somebody knocks on your door, it's like, just skim one more pool. No.
I'm done.
Don't do it.
You saw what happened to Lance Armstrong. Don't fucking do it, man.
I don't care if you do copier, printer, repair. I don't care what your job is. I don't care. You cannot come out of retirement for one more. I can come out for 2 jobs, but not one more. That's how it works. Let's do one more, Dawson. One more.
Oh, one more.
Don't do it, Dawson!
Dawson, say no.
Well, a man nicknamed Rambo, after he disarmed 4 police officers at gunpoint and disappeared into Germany's Black Forest, has finally been captured following a 5-day manhunt. 31-year-old Yves Rausch was found Friday still hiding in the forested hills around the small town in southwestern Germany. More than 2,500 police officers were involved in his search. After getting a tip from 2 witnesses, police special forces and a sniffer dog found him sitting in a bush with 4 handguns lying in front of him and a hatchet in his lap. He was injured during the arrest.
Hold
And an
on a
officer
second. It would suck to be a cop who got your weapon taken away and the guy ran into the Black Forest, right? Like any cop where you got your gun taken from you. So you started off with the gun and the other guy just had jogging shorts on and now he's got your gun. And I'm just saying, I know cops. They have a sense of humor. They like to... They like to take digs at other cops, you know, that's sort of that little frat boy kind of thing. And there's no way, if you were that cop, that you wouldn't take a ton of shit back at the precinct, right? Like if there was a birthday a year later and they were handing out cake and you were the cop who got his gun taken and someone handed you a slice of cake, they go, watch it real careful, Tim. Don't let anyone steal it. You wouldn't want some young guy grabbing it and running into the Black Forest, okay? That'd be his entire fucking career.
Yep.
Here's how it happened. Police were alerted to a suspicious person carrying a bow and arrow. So officials said that the Rambo initially cooperated with these 4 policemen, but then he suddenly pulled a gun on them and forced them to hand over their service weapons. He didn't injure anybody. But during questionings following his arrest, he told investigators that the weapons he threatened officers with was even a gun that only fired blanks. But it's all still under investigation. But the German Rambo finally down.
So worse, a guy had a cap gun, you had 4 cops, and they all had to hand over their fucking pieces to this guy. But on the other hand,
Even worse.
if you're running around with a bow and arrow, don't we get to just shoot you?
Yeah.
Like, isn't that kind of on you?
Yeah.
I just feel like if you're going to leave the house with a bow and arrow,
Yeah.
you may get shot, and again, that is kind of going to be on you. I don't feel like we need to hit you with the non-lethal stuff, or we need to talk it out of your hands. If you got a bow and arrow, and especially a crossbow, and especially one of those old-timey ones with a crank on it, if you got the fucking bow and arrow with the crank on it, we can shoot you from inside the cop car.
Yeah.
They don't even have to get out. Shabu shabu! All right, Dawson. I'm gonna bring it home.
Yeah,
Do you have a news?
That's the news. I'm Mike Dawson. Later, hosen.
Don't worry, Gina. Your job is safe. That was the news with Mike Dawson.
All right, I'm going to bid farewell to Joe Koy and Bryan and Dawson, and I'm going to finish the end of the show with a little Adam Carolla's Unprepared. Thank you, Joe Koy. Netflix, Joe Koy in his elements. Thank you, guys. And we'll get the questions ready out there for Adam Carolla's Unprepared. You're going to shout out something. I will do a comedy routine on it. Hold on. I got it. First, let me just hit a quick spot here. J.B. Weld. Oh, yeah. Yes, this is Texas. This is adhesive country out here. I know it's been said many times. DIY projects, you want to get through some of those, you want to save some money, you don't want the repair guy coming to the house, don't glue it, JB Weld it. Ordinary glue, it's got the word ordinary right in it. You don't want that, you want JB Weld. Pros and DIYers have trusted JB Weld for over 50 years. This, by the way, this is an American company. It's made in America. I know these guys. I hung out with them at SEMA, and whether it's a big or small repair, you do it with JB Weld. Available at jbweld.com, Home Depot, Lowe's, AutoZone, O'Reilly, Walmart, and Amazon. All right. So, what was it? Dorothy Gravitch. Dorothy Gravitch, the bane of my existence. Dorothy Gravitch. She is the woman who's the matriarch of the Gravitches who grew up next to me when I was a kid in North Hollywood, California. It's such a luck of the draw, right? I could have had a couple of hot blonde twins that lived next door to me. I could have had some guy who had a bunch of dirt bike motorcycles and a truck and wanted to take me out. But instead, I had the old bitch, Dorothy Gravitch. Dorothy Gravitch. She lived right next to us, and my mom was a loser. And my mom liked other losers. You know when you see a bunch of hobos all standing together in the park? That's what they do. They don't want to find a bunch of winners to hang out with you because they notice how much you smell and that you just plotzed in your pants and that you're strung out on bath salts. You want to find losers. You hang out with losers, there's no pressure. You hang out with winners will be like, hey, how come you don't have a fucking job? You hang out with losers and they go, how come you don't have a job? You go, how come you don't have a job? And then they go, how come you're addicted to methamphetamine? And you go, why are you addicted to methamphetamine? We can keep going down this road, folks. What I'm saying is my mom liked hanging out with losers because it took the pressure off of her, and the Gravitches were losers. Eventually, the Gravitches moved to Paradise, California, which is up north from where we live, and I thought I'd never see them again, but no, my mom. She was going to hang on to those losers with both hands. And now, every time I talk to my mom, all she does is fill me in on what Dorothy Gravitch is up to. And I really hope Dorothy doesn't hear this, but that bitch won't die. My mom's 88 years old. Dorothy Gravitch was like 7 years older than my mom. She won't go away. It's known, all we do is, Dorothy, cataracts are kicking in, and Dorothy's thinking about writing a children's book. By the way, she wrote a children's book. You know what that children's book was? She didn't illustrate it. She wrote it. She wrote it about her girl twins. By the way, let me tell you about the Gravitches. When I said to my mom, how those girl twins doing? They've got to be adults now. How the girl twins doing? The daughter, I think the son had twins, girl twins. You know what my mom said to me? She said, one of them is in a prison in Florida. The other one is not doing as well. That's a bad sign. That's a bad sign. She also said about one of our family friends, I was like, this is how my mom spoke. The one who was in prison was doing good. I said to one of we had a family friend named Merlene. I was like, how's Merlene doing? My mom went, Merlene? Oh, she's doing real good. She was just featured on an episode of Hoarders. Not good. Episodes of hoarders and being in a prison in Dade County are not doing well. So that's my family. So I want you to call your dad and call your mom and sob and hug them tonight and say, Adam Carolla says I should thank you. Next suggestion, thank you. What was that? Kneeling or ball cock? Ball cock. All right, kneeling and ball cock. The only time it's appropriate to kneel is when you're repairing a ball cock valve in your toilet tank. You take a knee, even Kaepernick I'll give a pass to on this. You gotta drop down, you pull the lid off the tank. Geez, I had trouble getting up. I had too many cocktails on the flight. The ball cock valve is in the tank of the toilet, right? It's got the float. I do love, the toilet really has not changed in 100 years, and our response to fixing it has not changed in 100 years. Like you flush it, you go, it's still running. Well, I'll jiggle the handle. That's all I got. I got one move. It's like, I got jiggle the handle. It's the same move I got when the key card won't work in the hotel. It's just, I got one move, thigh. I hit it on the thigh. One wipe of the thigh. Try it again. I'm out of ideas. I got no more. I got nothing. You got jiggle the handle. You got jiggle the handle because that's the ball cock valve, and that's the float in there. Now they say in an earthquake, or what do you guys have? Tornadoes? We have earthquakes. Anyway, when everything goes cattywampus, you can drink out of that toilet, and that's why you shouldn't be putting the Mr. Clean or whatever blue toilet bowl shit in there, which I don't think people use anymore. It was a big deal when I was growing up. It was like all of a sudden it went from a turd floating in there to, oh, it's a little slice of Maui right in my commode in North Hollywood. But the only time it is, in fact, appropriate to take a knee is when one is attempting to repair the ball cock valve. The other move you do is you can bend that weird coat hanger arm for the float and you can try to put a little English into that. You guys ever do that? Then when push comes to shove, eventually, like if you just want to go to bed, and you don't want it to run all night, then you just reach down and you hit the angle stop and you go righty-tighty, and then you go to bed, and then the next day you wake up and you take a colossal dump after drinking 3 coffees, and then you hit the fucking thing and you're like, oh my God, what? The shit's coming out of the toilet, there's nothing in the tank? But that is the ball cock valve, right? Let me tell you something. I got one of those waterless urinals at my shop. They act like there's some science to that. There ain't. You might as well just piss in the sink. It's like, it saves water, but pissing on the floor would save water too. It's about the same difference. There's nothing going on there. It's just a fucking thing you pee into. It doesn't work, doesn't help, doesn't nothing. All right, let's do another one. What do we got here?
Texas.
Who? Moving to Texas, yeah. I would like to move to Texas, although I did take a little step outside the airport and was hit with a fucking blast furnace. It was like 7,000 degrees when I stepped outside, and I thought, wait a minute. I literally singed a pube when I stepped out of the airport. Airports, I don't care where you are. Airports, I don't care if you're in Chicago in December or you're in Dallas in July, they're all 71 degrees inside the airport. So you get a little cocky. What you do is you land wherever you land and you go, Texas not so hot, this is nice. Look, they got a Cinnabon. I could fucking handle this. This is pleasant, man. Yeah, they got terrazzo everywhere, and a guy selling jewelry, yeah. And then they open the door, and you step outside, and you go, oh, fuck, we're on the surface of the sun. We're all gonna die. They need a little heads up, right? They need a little when you're leaving, because you just flew in the plane. The plane was 70 degrees. It had the little thing. That's what you need in Texas. You need a stick with that nozzle in it you have in it on the plane. Get a little airflow going. You get a little cocky because the plane was nice. Then you get into the airport. Then you get on that people mover thing, and you're like, Jesus, you don't even have to walk in Texas. This is awesome, man. They got a Cinnabon and a people mover. They say it's hot, but it's only feels good in here. And then the door opens and you're blasted with heat. And what they really need is a kind of a like heads up. Like they really need something above the thing. Like, you know, like the airport is nothing but information. Like the Uber zone's over there, and the taxi zone's over there, and the people without luggage, baggage claim is over here. How about a little sign above the thing that says, it's hotter than the hubs of fucking hell out there. Please don't get cocky. Everybody, this is your last chance to strip down in your underpants. There's a drinking fountain. Throw as much water as you can on you. You'll never make it to the fucking Ava shuttle. You will die. Put your head in the drinking fountain. Buy as many waters as you can over at the kiosk over there and just keep chugging and dumping them on you as you run to the... Yeah, it was hot. But now they got stuff. I like whoever the dude, I don't know who this dude is, but the dude who invented the outdoor mister, I want to party with that dude, because that dude was like, well, we invented air conditioning, so it's super nice inside the house. And then they're like, and now we got the infinity pool out there, and that's pretty fucking awesome, and you can float in the swimming pool out there. But what about that little patch of real estate between the sliding door and the pool? How am I gonna cool my fat, lazy white ass off? Let's just say I'm tired of sitting in the air conditioning watching a big screen TV in the house, but I want to go outside, but I'm too fat and lazy to go in the pool. What if I just want to eat next to the pool and look at the pool? I know, it's called a mister. It will fuck up chicks' hair. And you may sit under this mister, love that band, and we will fire up this fucking thing, and you can get fat and watch the pool and not get hot at the same time. I love the idea that we've been able to bridge that gap between the pool and inside. Who here has an outdoor mister? Losers. I'm never coming into your homes for barbecues. I'll travel with my own mister. All right, let's do one more. Farmers markets, okay. They must have those over here. First off, I've never seen a real farmer at a farmer's market. I've seen a lot of lesbian couples. But I haven't seen what I would call a traditional farmer as I knew it. You know, straw hat, Oshkosh, bagosh, coveralls there, thumbs stuck in the armpits, you know, that guy. Never saw that guy. See sort of angry feminist, see hipster dude, see lots of fucking... By the way, I don't know, how do you make money at a farmer's market? Like they go, although there's a white trash version of the farmer's market. So the farmer's market is like, I'm gonna get up at 4:45 a.m. on a Sunday. I'm gonna load these crates of persimmons in the back of my Subaru station wagon, lesbian rad. I'm gonna set up while it's still dark outside, and I'm just gonna put them along this street that was closed off in Santa Monica, and then a bunch of fucking assholes will come by, they'll pick up the persimmons, they'll sniff them, we'll talk about it, they'll put them back, the guy will promise me they're gonna grab the persimmons on the way out, and I'll never see that fucker again. That's the business model. And at the end, at 5:30 that afternoon, you will then load the bruised and damaged persimmons back into the Subaru and drive back to your apartment in Van Nuys. That is the business model. But there is the white trash version of this, and I have been to this. This is the car part swap meet at the Pomona Fairgrounds. You ever gone to one of these? Guys got cylinder heads to a 350 Chevy laid out on a beach towel. He got up at 5. He fucking has an engine block from a Datsun that's sitting there. He's got a flywheel from a Honda. He spreads all that shit out. A bunch of guys just look at it, keep walking. At the end of the day, he loads the shit back up and he goes home. But that guy had a mission. See, that guy's mission wasn't to sell auto parts. That guy's mission was to get the fuck away from his wife. So anytime you see a dude sitting around and it doesn't look like he's doing anything, you go, where'd you come in? I came in from Simi Valley. I spent the night at a Motel 6. I got here at 4 when it opened up. And you go, well, what the fuck? You spend the whole day? That's right, not with my wife. Not with my wife. They don't say it. Look into their eyes. That's what they're thinking. See my wife around? No, you see a bunch of car parts no one's gonna buy that I gotta slip back to the truck, but you do not see my wife. Thank you guys for coming out. Oh, wait a minute. Hold on. I got one more I got a 15-second Simply Safe. Yeah, 2 eyes, Simply Safe. You should feel safe at home with Simply Safe. Their mission is to keep you safe, protect your home. Do it today. Get free shipping at simplysafe.com/Adam. All right, I want to thank Joe Koy for coming in tonight. I want to thank you guys for coming in tonight. Until next time, this is Adam Carolla for Joe Koy and Bryan and Dawson saying mahalo. Thanks, Ed.